Jason X is about Jason Voorhees and another character getting frozen on accidental, end up 450 years in the future, and you can guess exactly what happens after that. Hey everybody, John Franklin Reviewer. Once again, I decided to be outside. Anyways, Jason X. Saw this movie at the theaters. I remember seeing it the first day, the very first showing, and I really actually had a fun time watching this movie. After all this time, do I still enjoy it? Well, let's find out here. Okay, so starting with the likes. Well, the first thing I got to talk about is the way that this film begins. Like the first 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of this film, I like everything that happens. I mean, Jason takes down a bunch of people, and then someone ends up trying to take him out. And jumping in with that person, the character that Jason gets frozen with is a character named Ronan, who, I forget exactly what her job was, but she was one of these people trying to freeze Jason and try to figure out who this guy was and how he's always unstoppable. I liked her as a character. She's a badass when she needs to be, and she's a very smart character. I would say this. I would say she's kind of a mixture of Ginny from part 2 and Trish from part 4. Jason / Uber Jason. Once again, his usual killing machine. Ken Halder coming back for the 4th time, and this was the last time. He does a damn good job in this. I'm so entertained with this character, probably since part 7. I like his deaths in here. Him being Uber Jason, which a lot of people, I've even heard people say Terminator Jason, and I can kind of agree with that. I like that. It doesn't really bother me. Just to throw this out, the whole thing in space, it really doesn't bother me. It kind of made sense about him being frozen, and like I said, this is taking place 450 years in the future. But I had no problem with it. I mentioned the deaths. I really thought they were good. There were actually deaths that they would actually show. It was very little cutaway kills. Another character I want to talk about is Sarge. I believe that was what they called him. I'm sure he had more to his name. I can't remember what his name was. He is the head of the military that's on this ship with the professor and the kids. And he is just like Ronan. He's another badass. I like him. He's got the big muscles. He's just a great guy. I love his dialogue. I like his action scenes, especially against Jason. I think that out of all the ones that Ken Halder has been in, this has got to be the funniest. This might actually be the most entertaining since part 6. So it's great to actually have another Jason movie that didn't really take itself so seriously. In my opinion, there are a lot of beautiful ladies in this film. I think every actress in here all do a good job, and that is really awesome. And now on to the dislikes. Well, the first thing I want to talk about with the dislikes, especially this being a sci-fi horror movie, the CGI is shit. I mean, you can definitely tell it's really low quality. Another thing I'm not a really big fan of, there was a really odd sex scene between two characters that I'm like, oh, geez. I mean, I guess some people might say, hey, it's their thing and all that. I don't want to really go bondage. I mean, maybe kind of, but I just thought it was really odd. The thing about the future, at least what this movie brings, I'm not trying to insult anybody except these characters in this movie, so don't get offended, but it makes it seem like the future is nothing but dumb people. That, I understand that, you're thinking that even over 400 years, you think people would know who Jason Voorhees was in their history books, but I guess not. It seemed like there was one person that knew who he was, but nobody else. Some of the characters I want to talk about, or at least technically really one, and then sort of a group of them, is Professor Lowe. I can't stand this guy. He is the dumbest teacher / professor I've ever seen. And then the group is actually the military. Other than the sergeant, who's supposed to be, tough grunts and tough, SOBs, and they really sucked against Jason. Again, I understand it's a script, it's a movie, but my God. I think maybe, like I said, maybe 1 or 2 of them may have actually got lucky enough to maybe get a couple hits off of Jason, but very little that they ever did that. And then the final dislike is going to be the ending. The last 5 minutes, if even, of this, I thought was really horrible. There were some good things in Act 3, but it almost felt like that they almost made sort of Jason a punk, since they made this more likely the last Jason before they rebooted it. Maybe some people might say, oh, this is a good way for Jason to end. To me, I just thought no, because it still felt like you had sort of an open ending on that, like they were going to continue that. Who knows? But Jason X, I am going to go 2.5 out of 4 stars. So, for you guys, Jason X, if you've seen this movie, do you agree, disagree with me? What did you think about this film? Give me a comment down below. We can definitely discuss it. Thank you guys so much for watching another updated review here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.